Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, we have discussed our positive Islamic psychology model of how we are going to transform ourselves to achieve peace, happiness and success. This is the book. I hope you buy this book and then become our positive Islamic psychology practitioner, and also continue your work with us and become our life coaches in various areas of human transformation to achieve peace, happiness and success in our life in this world and the hereafter. So we have explained that basically in the areas of how we mold our perception, whether positive or negative, the input to our existence on this world is based on the three major input. That is the physical environment, the social intra and interpersonal social environment, and inner speech. And inner speech is the key towards human transformation, and how we mold our feelings and emotions through total past learning history of all the good and the bad that we do based on feelings, emotion, thoughts, conscious and subconscious mind, actions and behaviors. So the sum total of our action is called total past learning history in our model. Okay, what is important for us is to understand that we can give labels to our feelings and emotion, and we can become observer to the play in our mind, because just like Aaron Beck says in his cognitive behavior therapy, we get automatic thoughts. Just like Nur Qayyim says, we also get automatic thoughts, automatic inner speech, both from the realm of good and from the realm of evil. So that is something that we cannot control. But what we can do is we can become an observer, and by giving labels, we can practically change our perception. And yesterday I had given you some idea of how to do it. For example, how we can reduce the feelings of revenge and hate, and how we can imbue ourselves with forgiveness. We look at all these things, view our inner speech as observer. What do I mean by this? When we have an inner speech that is negative, for example, the inner speech says, I hate Mr. A because he has done this to me, whatever bad things that he has done. So you repeat in your inner speech, I hate Mr. A, repetitively. So it becomes a vicious cycle of negative inner speech. So it becomes go downward, and this will grow and grow and grow, and that becomes open enmity, and finally it could even end up in fight and even murder and things like that, because that seed of hatred in the inner speech was not controlled in a proper manner. Because we cannot control our inner speech directly, we have to stand back, and each time we have a negative inner speech or a positive inner speech, we can mold it in a proper manner so that we have either a vicious cycle towards self-destruction or a virtuous cycle towards peace, happiness and success. I give you an example. For example, we give labels to our inner speech. For example, I've given you labels like this: Mr. Anger, Mr. Hate, Mr. Ego, Mr. Revenge, or Miss Envy, Miss Jealous, Miss Anxiety, Miss Backbite, whatever. You just give a label, create a label, and you observe how your thoughts play in your mind and how you can understand it. For example, if a thought came, just like I mentioned just now, of revenge, then you can say, oh, now in my presence I have Mr. Revenge playing in my inner speech. So how am I going to now reduce that thought? So how to reduce that thought is to find an opposite thoughts. For revenge, we bring the thought of forgiveness. For hate, we bring the thoughts of love. So that is a difficult process. We're not saying that automatically today you do it and like magic it is all done, but you can mold, because in psychology we call this the shaping process. Everything takes a step by step by step by step by step. So when you become an observer, you can observe what are the interplay in your inner speech. That interplay can be negative and positive. When there is a negative inner speech, you try to give a remedy of its opposites. Alright, just like in homeopathy, you try to create an opposite. And Allah created this world always with positive and negative. So Allah gives everything the possibilities of both positive and negative existence, and that possibilities whether it is we have electron and proton, or we have positive and negative charge, or we have whatever that is. The world is a dual situation that Allah has created. We can be good, we can be bad, we can be humble, we can be egoistic. Each and every one of this game that plays in our inner conscious, our inner speech, we can try to identify before it becomes big, because it becomes habit. Because everything here, if we allow it to grow, the anger will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then we are known to be an angry person. And when we are known to be an angry person, we can have do stupid things like, for example, road rage, beating up somebody with a metal bar, and he dies, and we go to jail for life because of just one little incident, because he cut you throat or whatever it is, or you just bump into a little bag. That is anger, and that anger can cause destruction to our own life, to our family, to the world. So when we see that anger coming in, when your heart is palpitating, then you reflect, oh, now I have in my present Mr. Anger. How am I going to overcome it? Inshallah, I'll try to calm myself. So what you do, you say, Astaghfirullahalazim, Astaghfirullahalazim. And then you pray to Allah, Ya Allah, allow me to be able to control my anger, and let me have peace and happiness. So you are in constant communication. Your inner speech is then molded in some small measure, repetitively every day, to then imbue yourself with more and more positive inner speech. And in your dua, always use positive language. Always ask for goodness in this world, goodness in the hereafter. Always ask for love of Allah, love of your family, love of Rasulullah, love so much. So there's so much love that you can absorb. And if you absorb all the love that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all the possibilities of love that Allah can give you, then you can slowly reduce the form of hate that is always impinging in our inner speech. Alright? This is a little practical way in which I believe if you really do it constantly, you can solve a lot of psychosocial problems that we face in this world today. Because this world today, the way in which we are molded in our life with rage, anger, hatred, is a melodrama that we look at all the drama from Hollywood or Bollywood, or the drama from the Korea or the Brazilian drama. Every day we are living in a melodrama, imbuing ourselves with all these bad characters. And that form our inner speech, that become our framework. If that is our framework, then we are self-destroying ourselves. We are self-destroying our family. We are self-destroying our iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why it's good for you if you can forget about all this melodrama, all this stupid thing that is moving around in the media, in the television, in the YouTubes and so on. Try to get all the positive energy within yourself, and try to imbue that positive energy and nurture that positive energy, and inshallah you will grow to become a happy, loving, caring, wonderful human beings that achieve peace, happiness and success. And then you grow to become a true and sincere servant of Allah. You become the Caliph of Allah on this earth, striving to make yourself good, helping others to be good, and making this world good. And inshallah, in our contribution to this world, in our effort, let us pray that we achieve the best, receive the best, fulfill the best in the way of Iman and Islam. And inshallah, we can help to make this world a better world for all. See you in the next